Alright, so how we doing, everybody? Lots of new stuff here on the stream, kind of getting used to the new layout and everything like that. Thank you for being here for the first of hopefully very many playthroughs of the Storm King's Thunder. Our campaign title is Amongst the Giants. Hope you guys enjoy. Should be a lot of fun for all of us, some veterans and some new players, so hopefully we'll have a good time with this. The next Amongst the Giants game will be April 25th, so put that on your calendars. That's 2 weeks from today. Don't forget we are alternating weeks from this game with Civil War Empire, so that's why it's alternating every other week. We are looking at, let's see, what do we got? Alliance on Saturday. Sunday game may be delayed, is what it's sounding like right now for Ascension, so we'll figure that out as well. And then we have Tyranny on Monday, and then Empire, like I said, it's alternating with this game, so next week on Wednesday. Other than that, that is pretty much everything, and I believe we are about good to go. Checking. Yeah, I think we're about good. You guys about ready?
Yep. Ken's gonna be here momentarily. He's on his way.
Okay.
Zorn is raging about work, so he'll be here as soon as possible.
No worries. Alright, so while they are kind of getting situated here, I will just go ahead and give us a introduction of sorts. It's not the full introduction, but it's at least something to get you started with. And then hopefully, let me know when Ken is in chat and oh, Zorn's still away too, right?
Yeah, I'll be watching for him. Do your thing.
Okay. All right. So, in your travels, and mostly while waiting around Daggerford for a caravan to leave, you've often seen job boards within the town squares pertaining to various jobs and other information from all around the realm, and more specifically the Sword Coast, from all the way south by way in, all the way north to Neverwinter. The job boards are fairly easier to deal with than trying to recruit people personally, so you often find pretty interesting bits of information amongst them. As you were searching job boards while you were in Daggerford waiting for this caravan, there were a few interesting postings. One of which detailed a goblin threat terrorizing the village of Nightstone. Lady Velrosa Nandar, the High Steward of Nightstone, is paying top coin to anybody willing to deal with these goblins. Nightstone is also a very popular retreat with wealthy nobles who kind of wish to hunt and such within the Deep Forest. Adventurers can earn some pretty good money by offering their services to guard the hunt. There were also information about other things within Nightstone, such as the Nightstone Inn. There they had pretty amazing food and cozy guest rooms. They make it pretty ideal for adventurers and entrepreneurs alike. You could speak with the dwarven innkeeper, Morak, You're Gray, yeah, for more information. Residents of Nightstone have a very long-standing and seemingly irreconcilable conflict with the northern neighbors, the elves of the Deep Forest. Lady Nandir, once again, is looking for some skilled mediators to kind of help resolve this dispute. Each of you, as you're kind of gathered around Daggerford, kind of waiting for this caravan to arrive and get ready, kind of take notice of these and, spend your time within the inns or gathering supplies as you get ready to travel the high road for the next several days. As you're traveling, evening fast approaches, and you spot a wooden signpost next to the trail that heads north into the hills. Nailed to the post are 3 arrow-shaped signs. Two of them, marked Waterdeep and Daggerford, follow along the high road and point in opposite directions. The third, marked Nightstone, is kind of a pleasant sight for the caravan leader who's been leading you guys for a few days. This long-faced dwarf with soft amber eyes goes by the name of Birdie, B-E-R-D-I. As smile kind of crosses his face, he kind of looks around, then back at the caravan, and looks up at the sky. Nightfall quickly approaches, and if memory serves correctly, Nightstone is still a good distance off and up the narrow path ahead. If anything were to go wrong overnight, not having the protection of daylight could spell trouble for the caravan. So after a few minutes of deliberation, Birdie decides he's going to bring the carts to a halt, calling for the caravan to take rest here at the T in the road, where hopefully it will be safe during the overnight hours. The party pulls the wagons together and sets up camp for the night. The caravan itself is in no way, shape, or fashion an organized group, save for the handful of guards that surround the wagons themselves. Instead, simply a collection of various travelers, their wagons, and other personal items that they have decided to bring with them along the journey. As night begins to settle in, so too do our travelers, who are beginning to gather around a campfire where Birdie has begun entertaining them with tales of his adventures, though it's pretty safe to assume that many of these are just tall tales.
You see, that's where I saw her. The dragon of the statues. Her eyes glowing red of anger. Aldor was the first of us to fall. She turned him into a gargoyle, and he began chasing us around. Lorthorn and I tried to run, but we were surrounded by her servants, who were spewing sand from their mouths. I ran, tried to get away. Lorthorn wouldn't survive, drugged down by the dragon's claws. That was the last memory I have of my adventuring days, though to this day, statues make me a bit nervous. You watch as he glances around the area, the travelers hanging on to his every word as he flashes a small smile. Looking around the campfire, mostly individuals of young kids and families. Gonna drag you over here so you can get a good view of this. Let's see, where were we? Though a couple of them look as though they've seen a bit of action. Birdie looks up, pointing at 2 men who have congregated behind one of the wagons right next to the campfire itself. One man, wearing green-dyed leathers with a hood, covers the majority of his head, leans back against the wagon a bit and facing in the direction of his traveling companion. A man wearing tan and brown colored robes, most of his face completely covered by the tagelmusk, the cotton base garment that covers his head like a veil to protect the wearer from sandstorms and other things of that nature. The 2 men kind of look amongst each other, and Birdie speaks out to them once again and says, Yes, yes, yous look like men with some interesting tales. Come, share with us. Regale the children of your adventures. And at this time, Lucas and Lassar, will you please introduce your characters for us?
Yeah. I'm Lucas Boyd. Probably about 5'10", roughly 175. You know, not too tall, lean. He like Mark said, or Eric. Damn it. Like he said, he wears a hood that obscures his face, but what you can see is he has rather pale skin. But that's about it. Plain. No real weapon showing.
All right, Lasar, would you like to introduce your character for us, please?
Lasar is about 6'2". Not a massive man, just mostly tall. Like I said, his face is mostly covered, but out from under his almost turban-like head covering, you can see two very orangey red eyes, and on his back is a very large axe.
All right, and with that, as I mentioned, the kids kind of gathered around the campfire, quickly turn in your direction, kind of look up at both of you with a little bit of excitement in their eyes, looking for some kind of story for you to regale them with.
Story, you say?
Well, there was the goblins.
Yes, we could go with that story. Let's see. Wow, that was a little while ago though. It started. We were told that there was a bunch of goblins infesting the hills. We were asked to go take care of them. So, of course, that's what we do. So we went after them. Took him out, but right as we...
But the trolls.
Ah, yes, the trolls. Evil boogers. We did not expect them. They rapidly overpowered us and took us captive, unfortunately.
And one of the kids that's sitting around the campfire looks up at you and says, and then what did you do?
See this? This is where it gets very interesting. They tied us up, and then we're talking amongst themselves of what they were gonna do with us. You know, where they were gonna sit on us and squish us and turn us into a paste, or put us over a fire and put us on a spit and slowly roast us. However, it was night at the time, and it took them forever to figure out how they were going to do it. The sun rose, and it turned them into stone all of a sudden. And that's how we escaped.
And with that, the kids quickly jump up and cheer and laugh and kind of joke amongst themselves. And as this story is kind of being told off in the background, we see... over to the far west, a group of people are kind of gathered together, trying to find ways to help out around this little caravan to kind of protect everybody. To be honest, the people that have been stepping up thus far have been not really the kind of people you would want to protect your caravan. Mostly people you wouldn't smell or you wouldn't trust within an arm's reach of them. One individual, however, diminutive individual wearing a very hastily put together costume, finds herself standing in front of the guard captain, begging and pleading to be able to help the caravan in some way, shape, or fashion. The captain easily, though, sees through the costume ploy, seeing the greenish-colored skin of a goblin woman's arms, which she failed to cover up while putting a costume together. As she continues to plead, a dwarvish man with fire red beard and dark colored leather armor and a whip fastened to his hip offers to pick up a shift similar to the goblin woman. He offered not only to watch over the caravan, but to also keep a close eye on this goblin as they perform their rounds. And as such, the guard captain kind of nods and agrees to it, offering to pay them for their services and send them on their way. As they start to wander, add them in here to the map here, to the far west. As they start to wander, the dwarf often finds himself staring out into the shadows, speaking with just himself, really, not wanting to talk to anybody, especially not this random individual that he just met. Occasionally, the goblin woman speaks up, assuming that perhaps he was speaking to her instead. Karsanook and Selji, would you like to introduce your characters, please?
Why, yes. DM gave a apt physical description. Karsanook looks like a middle-aged dwarf, although he would be pretty weathered and appears a bit older than he actually is from maybe things you've seen. Many dwarves around his age you'd see wrinkles around the eyes from smiling and laughter. He has nothing of the sort, just stone-faced. He has some scars that you cannot see on his back and legs.
All right, Selji.
Selja is a goblin, standing about a bit shy under 4 feet tall. Not a particularly, strong-looking thing, and with her disguise pretty much seen through, she absconds almost any attempt to hide herself from that point on. She wears a blue cloak that has feathers along the mantle of it, and carries around with her a wooden staff that has a blue jay carved on the top. The most notable thing about her is her face, which has a deep claw mark going across it, which seems to have injured one of her eyes, while the one still functional is brown. The one that seems to have taken the damage is kind of glossy and white and silvered over from the injury. And she mostly just tries to keep to her off to the side while keeping watch, seeing as her disguise was found out, and doesn't want to bother anybody.
All right. Let's see. Trying to see where I'm at here. Yeah, so the two kind of gather together, start making their rounds around the camp itself. Eventually making their way over to where the campfire is itself, kind of listening in to the tales of what everybody is saying, especially the captain itself, the caravan leader, Birdie, who's quickly coming up with another tale to tell with the children. However, on the outside of the wagons, two members of the caravan have opted not to join the others. Huddled next to a small redwood cart, which is held together itself just barely through the entire journey. A small being wearing tattered clothes, some of which don't quite fit his small stature. A black mask rests upon the lower portion of its face, helping to kind of disguise his identity a bit, if only slightly. Beside him, a massive bugbear sitting back on his haunches, looking in the direction of the smaller being. Upon his back, a makeshift saddle, which is made of scrap pieces of leather and wood, tied together in a very hurried fashion, though somehow has still managed to hold itself together over time. The two individuals speak amongst themselves, the small one rummaging through its packs a bit as it does. Grand Cool and Navi, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. So Grand Cool is a very somewhat poorly disguised goblin. Very short, pale green skin. Seems to have some jewelry hanging around his neck, but it's hard to see with all the tattered clothes. You see some of the clothes around that are oddly fitting and not very well sized to him are scorched in several places. He seems to not care and still wear them. He wears a very big floppy red hat that has two holes that let out his very distinguishing ears, showing him to be a goblin, but doesn't really care about that.
Enough.
All right, I am Nav. I am a giant 7'3" bugbear wearing some rather beat up scale mail. It's been through a couple battles with my god Grankle here, and I will protect my god Grankle to the ends of the earth.
Oh,
All
I'm
right.
a god, by the way, if you didn't know.
He's a god. All right. And as I mentioned, you guys are kind of off to the side, not really trying to interact with anybody else, just keeping amongst yourselves, with Grankle kind of digging through his pack a little bit as they kind of sit over to the side here.
That look over at Nav and say, well, I thought I put it in here. Well, I can't find. Do you have it in your pack?
I don't know, you look. I don't have hands for my pack. You insisted on it being so small.
Move over behind Nav and start digging through the very small backpack on this ginormous creature, digging it out, and finally pull out what appears to be a almost crudely made skull pendant attached to a metal chain. And with that, I found it. I knew I left it somewhere.
I told you didn't lose it.
Of course I didn't lose it, fool.
With that, I just let out a little growl.
Oh, quiet, you.
And as you guys continue this conversation, Karsanuk and Selja will eventually continue making their rounds, by chance happening across the far eastern cart as they're going around, and knowing the current situation within Nightstone, and even in the case of Selji, it seems a little odd to see a bugbear and goblin off to the side, kind of scheming or talking from a distance.
I heard a growl.
Yeah, it came from over there.
I heard a growl, and it came from here.
Good job, buddy.
Who might this be? I'll gesture to the massive bugbear.
I turned towards the person addressing me and kind of lay down on all fours and lay my head kind of down on the top of my hands. I'm Nav. Who are you?
No one of consequence.
Oh, no one of consequence makes a tasty treat.
I'm of consequence.
As you say that, I walk out from not very quietly hiding behind Nav and look over at the one speaking. You're of consequence. Well, who are you then?
I'm Selja.
Well, nice to meet you, Selja.
She just looks him over and then maybe just because it was dark for a moment, she just kind of puts it together what he is. And then she just kind of darts up and says, "Wait, how come you didn't have to wear a disguise?"
As you say that, I look down at the, cross my eyes, looking down at the black mask across my face. I am wearing a disguise. Why aren't you wearing a mask? Do you want to be killed?
Not a very good disguise.
As I look over at the one saying that, well, at least I try to cover up my ugly features. You just bring them out for everyone to see.
You haven't seen any ugly features. Not yet. I can smell you from halfway across the camp. You're not hiding anything.
Hiding? What would I possibly be hiding?
You do kind of stink.
Listen, you smell far worse than me, Nav.
He's right on that.
With that, I kind of seem proud of my odor and just... No, I don't.
Lucas, as all of this is going on off to the east, your kind of keen sense of tracking leads you to believe that there's something going on, and it's kind of piqued your interest a little bit and has made you want to explore and figure out what is going on to the east here.
I lean over to Lasser and whisper to him, "Hey, I think there might be something going on. I think we should go check it out."
Over by the other carts.
Yeah,
All right, I'll take point.
like always.
And the
Someone's
Lucas and Lassard kind of slowly make their way over there, trying not to draw too much attention to the situation. Karsanuk quickly notices that there's other movement in the area, and as Lassard and Lucas approach, quickly turns in their direction.
Without turning around, I'm gonna just say, right now we got a party. Who might you be?
Why, I am Lucas Boyd.
Not you.
Lasser.
Great.
I lean over to Nav and say, motioning towards Lasser, his eyes are all glowy. It's pretty neat.
I look up at them with kind of almost identical red eyes and be like, you act like you've never seen that before.
Yeah, but yours are boring now. I've been around you too long.
And at the mention of red eyes, I am going to my normal blue eyes. Are just gonna flash red for just a second and drop. If anyone saw, there's.
Did we see this?
Did we
I don't know.
I mean, if
give
you
me
were
a
looking.
Yeah, if you were looking in his direction, were you making any kind of like wild gestures or anything like that?
No, just
Then I would need a perception check from everybody. Otherwise, if it was something you were moving around for, I would just do passive on. But yeah, anybody that's trying to see this,
He's not even facing me. So.
right? Yeah. So Lassar
it was
and
more like your Grankle.
okay, yeah. Give me a perception check, Grinkle.
Hey.
Ooh,
Hey.
First roll of the game, and that 20.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
All downhill
All
from
right.
here.
So yeah, as his eyes quickly flash into this red, Grankle kind of looks up, and it almost at just the right time as he looks up, he notices this flicker in his eyes, and his eyes change to this bright red, and kind of a little shocked. Wasn't really expecting to see that from this little diminutive dwarf standing in front of him.
And as I see that, I'll kind of jump out from behind Nav and walk towards Karsanuk, move up and kind of start looking around him, almost, obnoxiously close, a few inches away from you, and looking around up and down your body and everything, and lean in, kind of whispering, looking around. Are you a god too?
I'm just gonna look down, slowly blinking. You might want to step back there, Pipsqueak.
That Grankle kind of looks up at you and blinks, very confused. kind of shrugs, says, "Okay." Turns around and moves back to Nav.
Just for a point of reference. Hold on. I want to get the numbers right here. Hold on. You're just barely more than a foot taller than him.
Who and who?
Carsonook, you're a little more than a foot taller than Grandcool.
So I could still look down on him.
A little bit, yeah.
You can try.
Anybody else doing anything? Lucas and Lasar, this seems to be more your area expertise, trying to investigate.
You mean attempt to investigate?
Attempt?
Nat 20. Y'all got this.
So yeah, you see this group over here. From what you can tell, because these are all random travelers, you have no idea that there are two that are working guard duty right now. So anything beyond just a conversation here, you guys really have no idea yet.
Well, I have better things to do. I'm gonna keep going on my patrol.
Oh, right, I'm supposed to go patrolling.
So take off. I lean back towards Nav. His eyes did something weird. Be careful of that one. He might be a god too. I don't like other gods.
He's not a god. There's only two of them. And you're right here.
I am right here. You're right.
Lucas and Lasar, you guys doing anything else here?
I'd like to walk up to the two that didn't just leave. So, what is a goblin and an owl bear doing?
That
Not something I expected in this group.
you say that Grunkle looks up at you and turns around, looking very confused over at Nav.
Nav also turns around looking for an owlbear.
Where's
Oh crap!
where's
Bugbear. Where's the owlbear?
Where's the owlbear? Those are mean beasties. Where are those at? I don't want to play with. You play with one of those.
Nav, hide me, please.
Did somebody say owlbear?
Wait, there's an owl bear?
Fool,
Hey,
you
dwarf,
said
there's an
it.
owlbear somewhere.
I like bears.
This one has an owl.
I like
Oh, how
trains.
quickly we
Selch
derail.
just like comes
Wow.
back and is just looking around for the owlbear.
No, I don't know what he's talking about. He said there was an owlbear. I'm very confused and kind of concerned. Go fight it.
I'm good with bears.
I want to fight it. Where
There's
is
an
it?
owl bear?
Oh no, I'm
Do we
not
have
good
an
with
owlbear,
owl
please?
bears. I'm not good with owl bears.
And this conversation continues for 2 or 3 hours as they're trying to figure out where this owlbear is. You start to notice all the other commoners have kind of dispersed and went back to their wagons, trying to rest or whatever for the rest of the evening. Or at least trying to, with the imminent fear of goblins up ahead. By morning, you're abruptly awakened by the sound of a very thunderous crash into the ground, which begins to quake the dirt and the wagons that you're within very violently. Birdie and the caravan guards quickly jump to their feet and organize the wagons to begin pressing forward, fearful of whatever may be going on around them. As you quickly get your belongings together and you start making your way northeast from the high road, you make your way into a clearing where you watch as a very large boulder comes falling from the sky and lands directly on top of one of the wagons within your caravan. Seemingly the boulder has gone astray and potentially crushing those directly underneath. many of the other wagons have stopped very abruptly, attempting to jump off and aid those that may be trapped under the boulder, scrambling to find the strength to kind of move the boulder out of the way. What would you guys like to do?
I immediately want to help with that boulder.
Okay.
I also want to assist with the boulder, but mostly because it looks like it's fun to push this boulder once I see him doing it.
All right.
I don't.
Nope. Okay. Everybody? Is that
I'd
it?
like to try and see where the boulder came from.
Go ahead and give me a perception check. Yeah, so as you're sitting here, everybody else is focused on this boulder that has just destroyed this cart and potentially killed these other individuals. You, on the other hand, instinctively look upward. And as you do, about 15, 20 miles up the road, you watch as several boulders are just flying from the skies, clearing the clouds and just smashing into the ground below. As you kind of look in that direction, instinctively you kind of reach down and you grab your map and you kind of fumble through, kind of orientate yourself a little bit and realize this is actually in the direction of Nightstone.
Where the boulder landing or where they're coming from?
Where they are intended to land. This one boulder seems to have gone very astray from the others that you're watching are falling directly on top of Nightstone itself.
Okay.
The others, go ahead and give me a group strength check and see if we can't press this boulder out of the way.
The ones who want to. Right.
Yes, those that want to.
Saving throw or check?
It is a check. Lissar, go ahead and re-roll that as a check. So just click strength and set a strength save off to the right of that. There you go. Anybody else?
Why not?
All right. So Selja, Lissar, and Nav quickly rush over. Nav just like instinctively running over, not really doing it for himself, but he sees somebody else doing something. Now he wants to do that same thing. Quickly rushes over, and the group kind of starts rocking this this boulder back and forth a little bit. It's about 3.5, 4 foot wide, almost 500, 600 pounds. As you start to push it, and because of the divot that it's setting in, it takes a little bit of momentum, but you're able to finally push it out of the way, and it kind of rolls up and over. And underneath, you see, as kind of mentioned, the wagon that it landed on top of is completely just destroyed. Within the wagon was a younger child that was kind of trapped in the middle. The mother was mostly pinned by this boulder, but still survives, though probably for not much longer. You quickly, everybody kind of rushes over and tries to aid in any way they can, but the guard captain's very worried about the current situation, especially seeing all these boulders dropping, and quickly wants to gather everybody up and move forward and try to get to their destination before he is out a bunch of money.
I'd like to tell the guard captain about the other boulders that they're landing on the city.
Okay, and as you kind of mention this to him and say that, you know, you kind of observe that boulders are intentionally falling about 10, 15 miles out into the distance, in the direction you believe to be Nightstone. His eyes kind of perk up a little bit, and he's kind of nods and says, "Yes, this is not a good deal. We got to get out of here. We got to go now. We got to get everybody out of here. We're not going to go to Nightstone. I'm sorry if that's the direction you're going. You're going to have to do it on your own. I'm going to get these people out of here." And quickly stops everything he's doing, turns around and ushers the caravan guards to gather everybody up, and they're gonna make their way back and try to head up to Waters Deep instead.
It was the leader who said that?
Yes.
I'm gonna, before he can get to the thing, I'm gonna step in front of him, glare him in the eyes. We're going to Nightstone.
And this...
Can I...
You can give me an intimidation check if you want to do that.
Nat 17.
All right, so and I wanted to pull up the map so you kind of get a feeling for where you are here. You are right in that area here. To give you an idea, you're on this little T path heading up towards the Nightstone. Like I said, it's about 10 or 15 miles up ahead, but that's kind of where you're at. Your intimidation check is you kind of turn to this guard captain. He turns and looks at you and says, "And what would you have me do, mate? You want me to go in there and die? I got much better things I can do, and I'm sorry, but you're not paying me nearly enough gold to keep going."
Okay. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, and he again continues pushing the people forward, and then as he starts leaving and the guards start leaving, he looks specifically at you, Karsnook, and points northeast and says, "If you're going to Nightstone, just keep following this path. You are not going to miss it, I guarantee you." And his voice kind of trails off as he quickly rides the hell out of there. He wants nothing to do with this.
Can I make an insight check to see if he's telling the truth?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I do something before the caravan kind of like packs up and runs out?
Sure. What do you want to do?
Selja, because you said that the mother that got hit by the boulder was looking pretty bad and probably won't make it. Selja's kind of go in and place a hand on her forehead and cast a healing spell on her.
Okay. And as you do so, like you said, you're trying to do this before the caravan kind of takes off. As you kind of walk over to her and kind of see everything that's going on, they're looking at you a little strange, obviously, because you're a goblin amongst the midst of mostly humans and some elves. And you kind of walk up, and as you kind of place your hands on her, she starts to feel this healing energy. And before had you not kind of stepped up here, she probably was done. She wasn't going to probably survive the night. The damage from the impact would have probably killed her, and obviously she didn't have much. She just had her young child with her. So as you kind of walk up and you place your hands on her, she's immediately starts to feel energized and feel better. She quickly turns to the rest of the group around, almost instinctively, and says, "Where's Michael? Where's Michael? I need my son. Where is he?"
Nav kind of cocks his head to the side. What does she mean, son?
With that, Grankle turns around and says, "I'll explain it to you when you're older."
There was another kid.
So the son was definitely in the cart?
Yes. From what you can pretty much gather, with it only being one child within the cart, and it was the mother by herself, it's pretty safe to assume that that's her son underneath.
He was okay though, wasn't he? Or was he dead?
Oh no, he was dead on impact. It landed directly on top of him.
Your son's gone.
With that, she quickly turns and looks in the direction of Karsnook and... Wait, what do you mean, gone?
Couldn't save him. I'll turn and just walk away.
Her eyes start to well up with tears, and she kind of looks around, almost like looking for a confirmation from others within the caravan before eventually the entire caravan starts to pick up, and that's at the point where they're gathering everybody up, picking her up, putting her in a separate cart, and they kind of dig the body of the son out from under it, and place like a cloth over him and place him in the back of the wagon, and they start heading southwest, going straight back to the T in the road, so they can head back up north to Waterdeep. You guys, however, assuming you're pressing on towards Nightstone.
As this is all going on, I've walked over to where Nav was, where he moved the boulder with the help from the others. And I kind of put my foot against the boulder, moving it with my toe, saying, I could have moved that if I needed to. And observing the word and everything about the village. One second. About Nightstone being attacked and everything, I look over and say, look back at Nav, say, well, looks a little bit more dangerous than just dealing with more goblin folk, but maybe they'll pay us more if we save them from these falling rocks.
Do we get to push more rocks?
With kind of a wary sigh. Yes, Nav, you will get to push many more rocks.
Okay, let's go.
And the group, kind of instinctively, the six of you start heading northeast, and as you kind of press on, kind of sticking together, you make your way northeast. Like I said, the trail goes about 10 miles before you start to hear the sound of a bell ringing off in the distance, and as you get closer, it starts getting louder and louder. The number of fallen boulders from the sky start to trickle down to almost nothing, and then silence for about a half hour before you even get there. And as you continue to get closer to Nightstone, the bell continues to ring louder. And upon approach, you take immediate notice of the river that flows around the settlement, forming a moat around the central point of the village itself. The village is contained within a wooden palisade, beyond which you can see a windmill, a tall steeple, and several high-pitched rooftops from some of the buildings within the village. Apart from the ringing of the bell, you detect no other real activity within the village. The trail ends directly ahead, and I'm going to move you guys on the map here. Give me a second. You're going to go here. Very big map. You'll have to zoom out a little bit, probably. Yeah, the trail ahead leads to a lower drawbridge that spans the moat that surrounds the village itself. Beyond the drawbridge, there are two stone towers that flank either side of the open gap into the palisade itself. South of the village, surrounded by a river moat, is a cone-shaped flat-topped hill in which stands a very large stone keep enclosed by a wooden wall. The keep, which overlooks the village, and the wooden bridge that once connected it between the island itself and down to the village proper, is partially collapsed in the middle. As you guys begin to arrive, you as I mentioned, you pay close attention to the lowered drawbridge up ahead, roughly 20 feet long and 10 feet wide. You can tell it's made to be pretty sturdy, able to hold itself up in battle. 2 iron chains are bolted to the side of the drawbridge, and what you could presume are connected to winches on the other side within the watchtower itself.
As we're approaching, do I hear any like screams or anything as I'm seeing these rocks just pelt the city? You know, does it sound like people are panicking and running or anything?
No, so as you approach, it's pretty quiet. As I mentioned, the rocks collapsing onto the city is stopped. It's been about a half hour since you saw the last boulder hit. And as you get closer, you notice it's eerily silent, aside from the sound of, some fires here and there from fire pits and the such. Other than that, you don't really notice anything else.
I just have a map technicality question.
Yep.
It says 1 square equals 10 feet. Is that talking about the big shaded squares or the small squares that we move in?
Should be the large squares. So yeah, every
so
every square that you're standing in is 5 feet.
Okay, good.
And I can't see anything.
We're not supposed to. It's walled in.
Yeah,
No, I literally, it's all black.
Okay, let me look.
Yeah.
Advanced.
Gotta open
Oh.
your eyes, man.
That's why. Now you can see things. Right?
Yes, now I can.
Okay. I didn't have the has sight checkbox set for him. So he was
Not
seeing
blind.
black everything. He was blind. Hey, that's what Tara should have.
Right.
Ooh.
All right.
Ideas, DM.
So as hearing it all being just eerily quiet and seeing everything and seeing the stones kind of stop, Gronko's kind of standing there with his hand up to his ear, kind of cupping it to listen closer. Kind of turns around to everybody else and says, "We may have gotten here a little too late."
Well, might as well go in.
Or just in time if you want to avoid getting hit by rocks.
Hey there, Max.
I like this one. She has a good point. Let's go in and see what's happening.
Well, I'm gonna start going in.
All right. Yeah, so as you kind of approach, as I mentioned, 20-foot long bridge, 10-foot wide, made of pretty sturdy oak planks, iron chains bolted to the side that connect to winches within the watchtowers themselves.
Go ahead.
The 2 towers, as you're kind of walking up, you notice they're very similar to other towers that kind of surround the palisade itself. They're about 20 foot wide and tall, or 20 foot wide, or 10 foot wide and 20 foot tall, I'm sorry. And each one of them are kind of, as you kind of look up, you can tell these are made for purely battle. They're only meant to defend the city.
Nobody out front.
Nobody out front.
Can I the chains, the drawbridge, does it look sturdy? Like it may be compromised by a rock?
No, from your regular
Perception?
perception, yeah, you're all set. As you look at this, it looks as sturdy as you would ever expect for a drawbridge to be in a city like this.
This drawbridge looks good. Go ahead.
Zorn, you there?
No, I had to step away for a second.
Okay, that's fine. I was just wondering. I was going to move them up with you guys. Yeah. So as you can start to make your way across the drawbridge, you do notice, kind of off in the distance, you start to hear the sound of what appears to be a couple of beasts that are kind of munching down on something. You kind of hear like the crunching of rocks or bones or something from it, but beyond that, that's all you hear.
Can I make a survival tracking check to see if it's Fey, Fiend, or Undead. I have advantage on those.
You can give me a survival check for tracks and that such.
Okay.
Yeah. So as you start searching, kind of notice there aren't a lot of tracks on this side of it. But as you're starting to look around, as you were kind of approaching the bridge here, and you were kind of looking at the tracks, you started to notice there were some tracks that led northwest of the path itself. Appeared to be almost humanoid, and then started leading towards the drawbridge itself as well as the two very large, almost wolf-like tracks that are leading directly ahead into the town proper.
And were any of those Fey, Fiend, or Undead?
They were not.
Okay. Well, I entered the city.
Okay.
Village, town, whatever.
Yep. You start to approach the village square. You begin to notice that there are two beasts that are hovering over the remains of what looks to be a dog in the northeast corner of the town proper. The ground is mostly mud, as the previous day's rainfall has dampened the dirt. However, you don't really find your movement is really impeded by the mud underneath your feet. However, the sound of your entry and kind of squishing along the mud quickly draws the attention of the two beasts off to your northeast, who immediately start charging in your direction once they see you. I'm going to need everybody to roll initiative, please.
Woo.
Oh boy.
First initiative. Let's go and die. Oh, yeah.
Look at that. 2 in a row.
Rolled twice, 2 nat
Yikes.
20s.
Man.
Grankle is a god.
That's an oof. That's a big oof.
Man.
That's Grancole's only power as a god. He can
Pretty
only
much. He
roll
can
nat
always roll nat 20s for things that
take
won't
that.
matter so much.
I'll take that as a power.
I'm going to go ahead and roll initiative for Zorn.
I don't think I was clicked on my token when I did it.
Yeah, 1 sec. Let me find. Oh,
Let's
yes.
just-
You can just re-roll and just click on it and roll, and then I'll change it to what your first roll was. There we go. It's good because you gained a bunch off that.
Down here with the 6 folk. Mm-hmm.
All right. 1 second. It's music change time.
Oh yeah.
Time for glorious battle, yes.
Yes.
typically makes me money, so I'm okay with that.
All right. Grand Cool being the first to quickly take notice, even though it was Karsnook who was kind of searching the trails. Grand Cool looks up and sees a couple of goblins riding on top of a couple of wargs off to the side, and quickly reacts and heads in their direction. Or runs and hides.
And Grancool, being the valiant fighter that he is, immediately turns around to Nav, casts Enlarge Reduce to grow Nav, and then immediately takes a few steps back.
All right.
And as soon as I get large, I just let out a giant roar.
Right in the air, pal. That was right in my ear.
That's what the saddle's for.
Dire wolf all over again.
He turns around. He turns around to Nav. He says, "Go get him, friend." That's
All
my
right.
turn.
All right, and with that, Nav quickly, it almost just immediately grows into this size twice as big as what he was. Grandcool, kind of grinning, jumps behind him and kind of points in the direction that he wants him to go. Selja, you are up. It can, Zorn.
Quick question for you, Nav. What's your AC?
Are we allowed to say these things?
No.
No.
And that is why he sat there and didn't say anything.
That is forbidden information.
Me?
That is fair.
No, it's
That
because
is
I was stuffing my face with pizza.
You're supposed to play off the DM, damn it. He said that in his description he was wearing some armor.
All right. The only thing scarier than a big bugbear is this. And then she casts Barkskin.
Oh my god.
The goblins are buffing the fuck
Nice.
out of the bugbear. I love it.
Oh,
As they should.
Great tongue. Thank you for the follow. And Loop, Havoc,
This is
thank you so
nature at
much
work right now.
for 6
No,
months.
this is God's
subscribing.
playing things they don't comprehend.
Now go get him, buddy. And then she also goes behind the bugbear.
This is like a 20-foot tall, now like
Oh, man.
giant
Uh-huh.
wooden creature. It probably looks like an ant.
Yep. And as this is going on, the wargs are not really that impressed. They're going to just go ahead and press forward, going as fast as possible to head in your direction. Nav, you are now enlarged and you have bark skin. What are you doing?
I'm trying to figure out if this map is accurate as far as footage wise.
Yes. So the small squares in front of you are 5 foot.
Okay.
You are now enlarged, so everything looks smaller to you.
Puny City.
Puny City.
I'm trying to read to see if enlarging doubles my speed.
It does not.
Okay.
But it does lower your voice.
All right.
Oh. I did that wrong.
We are going to move forward in front of the party. And because I cannot get to him, we're going to let out a giant roar while staring down the one that is moving towards us. And casting Hunter's Mark on them. I don't know why that macro isn't working.
Alright, the warg directly in front of you?
Yeah,
Alright.
Oh. there we go. I didn't know that it was
Yeah.
trying to do it at a higher level.
Alright, and anything else?
That will end my turn.
Alright. Lasar, you see Nav kind of grow and jump in front of you and head into the direction of the warg. What are you doing?
Other than making sure to stay out of his way, I'm going to advance on the first warg and draw my axe.
Alright. And if you're new to Roll20, if you click and hold your token and press the spacebar, if you press the spacebar again after you drag it, it will mark how far that distance is.
Oh, that's how you do it. I forgot
Yep.
that.
Yep, click and hold spacebar to start, and then spacebar every stop in between, and then once you're done, just release the left click.
Alright, so I'm just up here, kind of behind this rock a little, looking at the warg.
Alright. Anything else?
That'll be it for this one.
Alright. Lucas, your partner in crime, has dashed forward and headed towards the warg. What are you doing?
I'd like to pull out my short bow and shoot the closest warg.
All right.
Or one second. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just gonna shoot it.
All right. Go ahead and move where you got
19
to.
hit.
19 on the warg. One sec. Oh, there we go. Yes, 19 hits. Go ahead and give me some damage.
2
All right.
damage.
A whole 2.
And that's it.
All right. Karsanook, you watch as Lucas from behind as he pulls up this short bow and kind of knocks an arrow, and as soon as it releases, it flies right by your head, hits true to the warg, doing a little bit of damage, but the warg looks raring to go.
All right. So first things first. All right. Not enough of voice out of character. I am going to activate my Crimson Right as a bonus action.
Right.
So as I draw my whip, I crack it over my head, and as the scars on my 2 scars on my back reopen slightly, that you can't see, the whip ignites with lightning cracking down it, and so it sounds as if there's 10 whips cracking at once. And then I am going to use the ready action to, as soon as the warg gets within 10 feet of me, I'm going to sidestep out of the way. I can do that, right?
Yeah, so you're just sidestepping?
I'm not using my movement, so I'm just going to use my movement when the warg shows up to...
If it charges towards you, yeah, I'll let you...
Yes.
Yeah, I'll let you hold your action to kind of sidestep as it moves towards you.
Yes.
I will let you do that.
Thank you.
All right. So with that, Carson kind of prepares for combat, kind of calling upon his Crimson Right, whipping the actual whip in the middle of the air. Grand Cool, your buddy Nav has charged into combat, or trying to get there. What are you doing?
Are only one of these creatures charging at us?
The other one has not gotten... Oh, did it not show up?
Yeah.
It didn't show up. One sec. I will say that his turn is at the end for this one, and then roll the other one.
Yeah, if you just want to do it
Yeah, that's
before
fine.
mine, and I'll go after.
Oh, it's fine. Yep. Yeah, because he was towards the bottom anyway. Yeah, similar to his buddy, he is going to charge forward 50 feet. Start making his way there, but not anywhere close enough to attack. So yeah, whenever you're ready.
Alrighty, so let's see. 1 second.
Hi everybody,
Oh,
by the way.
Alrighty,
Thank you all
so,
for being here. I
As
appreciate
Grunkle's
it.
sitting back here, he'll take one whole step forward, seeing these 2 creatures charging forward. He'll start spinning his hands together, and you see this kind of orb beginning to form in between his fingers, and then in between his palms, and it begins to grow ever larger, and then it begins to take on a red hue, indicating fire damage, and he casts Chromatic Orb.
All right. And you're casting it where at?
It's just an attack. It's not an AoE.
Oh, straight attack. 1 to each?
No, just the one.
Or just the
first
bottom one?
Sorry,
Our first one? To the one at the top? Closest one?
closest one. Yeah.
Yep, okay. Yeah, that hits. No, the top one, no, it does not hit. I'm sorry. So you cast Chromatic Orb, and as you release it from your fingertips, kind of watching, it looks like it's staying true, but as this warg is kind of moving forward, it's jostling the goblin that's riding on top of it, and as it does, it drops just in time, and the Chromatic Orb just flies over its head, obviously doing nothing to them.
Even a god misses every once in a while.
Anything else?
No.
No? Okay. Selja, you're up.
Selja's gonna move in. Behind the bugbear. And I don't think I have range on any of this. And she is going to hold action to cast Thorn Whip when one of the wargs gets in close.
Okay. And what is your distance on that?
30 feet.
Okay. So yeah, you're going to hold your action to use your attack once the warg has entered within range of attack. Nav, you are up.
Sorry.
No worries.
I am going to just strangely step forward next to Lysair, and as I'm moving forward, I'm going to pull the halberd out from behind my back and take a swipe here at this one.
Alrighty. You'll need to move up one more square if you're going to hit him with that.
No, 25 feet right now for melee range.
Is it 25 for you? I thought it was 15.
Well, it's adjusted right now because
Oh, right.
Enlarge.
Yep. That's right. So yeah, 17 hits. Go ahead and give me damage.
Oh, for 7 damage. Yay.
Yay. So yeah, you kind of step up, especially in your enlarged form here.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Wait. Forgot about that for being enlarged.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to keep track of it all. There's so much.
There's so much. So yeah, you kind of jump in, kind of spring into action here right beside Lysair. And as you kind of thrust the halberd forward, quickly land true, kind of to the right shoulder of the warg as it's charging forward. Kind of watch as it winces and kind of pulls back a little bit. Its teeth snarling, but you land true and does considerable damage to it. Anything else?
Ooh, he's right.
No, Hunter's Mark.
Oh, Hunter's Mark.
What was Hunter's Mark? Was that 1d6?
Isn't Hunter's Mark only for the person?
It's only for the
yeah, right.
caster.
Yep, it's the caster attacking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 1d6.
Damn, single-handedly take down the warg.
Right?
It's gonna get even more stupid next
Yeah.
level. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Pick it up.
It's a
Pick
good
it
thing
up,
that's
chuck
going to
it.
last a little while. So yeah, you with the aid of Hunter's Mark, you kind of, as I mentioned, the halberd kind of jabs right into the right shoulder of this warg as it's charging, and also taking a ton of damage. Kind of almost falls over, but quickly kind of gathers its footing, and as it does so, it's immediately going to charge forward towards you and is going to attack. Does a 14 hit?
No, it does not.
All right, so as it charges forward, kind of off-centered a little bit as it was trying to regain its balance, dashes forward and kind of lunges at you with the bite, and as it lunges forward, you're able to quickly sidestep a little bit and kind of almost elbow the snout of this beast and kind of knock it out of the way to keep it from hitting you. With that, though, Lucas, it is now your turn.
Yes. I would like to put another arrow into this one.
Alrighty.
The 14 hit.
It does.
9 damage.
Alright. So you quickly, like the first time, you quickly reach back, grab a second arrow, knock it, and as soon as it releases, you can tell this one's going to hit home. And as soon as it does, you watch as the warg, which had just dove forward and was trying to bite at Nav, catch it in its left shoulder, and it kind of flips around and turns on its side, landing off to the side a little bit, and is now dead in front of you guys.
That
Well, that takes care of my held action at least.
It does.
not yet.
I whipped the body.
There's another one.
DM ruling.
Yeah?
It just dropped to 0. Do I need to hold my bonus action to move it to the other creature
Uh,
until my turn, or just do it now?
I'll say it'll need to wait until it comes back to your turn,
Okay.
since this did happen after your action.
And that's my turn. I'm gonna stay right where I am.
Okay. And yes, Selja, I'm sorry. I did miss your held action. I'm sorry about
That's fine. I forgot to.
that. All right. Lasar, you are up. You just watched the first ward drop at the feet of Nav here, thanks to the arrow of Lucas.
So, standing next to what is now a gigantic bugbear, and seeing what he just did, I'm just gonna wait for the next work to come in, and I'm gonna smack him when he does.
Okay. Melee range for you?
Is just yeah, melee range.
Yep. Okay. Anything else?
No, that'll be it.
All right. So with that, the warg is immediately going to charge in, watching its comrade fall. Selja, I'm going to have you go ahead and use your held action to attack this one, since we missed on the last round.
Eat thorns.
That hits. 6 damage. All right. Anything else?
I can't
I think that's
pull
it
him.
on your hold.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't
Uh,
pull him through people, so I guess
right.
I just won't pull him.
Okay.
You'll see some whips.
What's that?
Sorry.
No. Lasar, now that the warg is in front of you, you can now use your held action as well.
All right.
Yeah, so go ahead and give me that damage.
Damn.
Nice. Beefy little hit there.
Max damage.
All right. So, as this ward kind of charges forward and is immediately coming straight for Lasar, Selja, with kind of prepared, wasn't able to quickly react to the first one, but immediately as the other ward comes into place, quickly casts Thorn Whip, and just it nails this ward perfectly, and with no issue, the ward immediately kind of stumbles back a little bit, regains its composure, and as soon as it does, Lasar comes in with the great axe, slashes across the chest of this thing that's kind of wobbling already, doing considerable damage to it, but it is still standing and will be attacking you, Lasar. Ooh, for 23 to hit.
That does it.
All right, so as it does, kind of stumbling, almost by luck, it kind of dives forward with its maw, kind of reaches, and as it does, it bites onto you, dealing 12 piercing damage.
Ow.
Yeah. Karsanoot, you just watched Lasar get bitten by this warg, last one remaining in front of you. What are you doing?
Real quick question. Sorry to interrupt. Is that a large beast? It is?
Yes.
Okay. I'll be taking an attack against it for attacking Lasar there.
Okay. For the enlarge and reduce thing?
No, that was actually Hunter's Prey Giant Killer.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Yeah, go ahead.
Does a 13 hit?
It does. Tell me how you just killed the second warp.
Hold on. I'm not done killing it.
I'm not done. I'm not done.
It's already dead.
This is Monday all over again.
Instead of actually using the front of my halberd, I'm going to use the back of it and just side swing it, since he's kind of to my side, attacking Lasar just right into the side of his skull, attempting to smash it in.
All right. And as you do so, you watch as this ward drops, I mean, almost immediately falls to the ground. Completely lifeless, Lasar kind of looking down the snout of it landing literally 5 to 6 inches away from his feet. Looks down at it and then kind of looks back up at you. From here, kind of find yourself standing within the town proper. Let me give you some descriptions here.
Before anything, the goblins on the back of the wargs. Yeah, I'm technically it's still my turn. I'm gonna go and wrap one up with my lightning whip.
They are considered one and the same.
Oh,
So
never mind.
they're all just one beast.
Oh,
They're not actually unique
never mind
NPCs.
then.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I should have explained that a little better.
I'll dejectedly turn off my lightning whip.
I want lightning whip. So yeah, find yourself standing on the outskirts edge of the village square. The two beasts, as I mentioned, were hovering over the dog in the northeast corner. The ground, again, mostly mud. The center of the town square, as you kind of glance around here, you notice there's a 5-foot hole that is dug pretty deep, sits empty in the center of the town square. To the northeast is an empty cart. To the north, you have the Nightstone Inn. And then to the southeast, over in this direction, another building or kind of like a sales house with a lion's head emblazoned upon a shield. Directly to your north at location 5 is where you can hear the sound of the bell that has been ringing nonstop since you got here.
As I move into the area, looking at this bell like a kind of a bell tower thing. Do I see a rope attached to it that could be causing it to ring?
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh God.
So even with that perception check, as you look up directly to the far west of this building here, you can actually see it is the steeple to this building, and at the top of it is a bell. And yes, from that hangs a rope, but beyond that, you don't notice anything else.
That Grunkle looks around everybody and says, "Typically, those things don't ring unless somebody's pulling the rope. Yes."
Sal just shrugs at him.
Maybe somebody in there needs help.
Yeah, you should go check on him.
I'm gonna get him to stop. I'm gonna go to the inside of the thing.
Okay. You're heading inside to the temple.
I can't see if this is the right path.
This building in the middle is the area, so
Am I in?
yeah. I'm gonna actually move you to another map. So if you're going in there, then you'll be here. And
As he goes
I
to
should-
investigate it, I want to move further, looking at this big hole that you mentioned, and also looking around the town. Do I see anything else, hear anything else that we should be watching out for while he's investigating the bell?
From where are you gonna be at?
Right where I am now.
From where you are, you do off to your distance northwest of where you're at. You do see a couple of what looks like goblins kind of running around a kind of pinned in area. Yep, up in that direction there. But beyond that, that is all you currently see.
Said they're pinned in like a fence is around them? Or?
Yes. Like, as you kind of look, it looks more like chicken wire, kind of held together around a bunch of posts that surround this yard area in the back.
It's a lot more personal because we have 2 goblins in the party.
Let's say, as I see this, I want to kind of point over to them and show everybody. Say, look at that! Look at those stupid goblins stuck in a cage!
With that
I
happening,
I just look at him a little odd.
Look back at you. What?
You're not the god of irony, are you?
My
I
name
think
is
he is.
Gronkle the Feared. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's Uncle Grunkle. You leave him alone. And with that, Neb just kind of sits down on all of his haunches and just starts chewing on one of the legs of the wargs.
Karsnook, you were the only one heading into the temple building thing here.
Yeah, I want to stop that incessant ringing.
Okay. Anybody else accompanying him?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with him.
Okay. All right. So I'll have
What,
you
you don't
go
trust
here.
me?
Stand still. All right. I'm going to have to move you guys. Yeah, I know. One at a time here. Hold on. Where'd the other one go? Are both of you over there?
I see darkness.
You are to the far east. I don't see where the other one went, though.
Yeah.
Lassar, where are you at?
I'm just in magical darkness. It looks like I'm to the lower right of the giant rectangle.
When the teleportation spell goes horribly wrong.
Hold
Right.
down your left click on your character, Lassar.
I see you over there. Okay. All right. So, you're going to go here. You are to the far east, almost directly east of where that temple was. What is everybody else doing?
I am chewing on a warg's leg currently.
Okay.
I'd like to go check out that hole in the ground.
Okay. So, Lucas, as you move forward to your southeast, you see another two, over off in this direction, another two goblins, similar to what is seen to the northeast within almost like a chicken wire or a fenced-in area around a plot of land, kind of chasing each other over there. Let's see. Our two that went into the temple, Karsnook and Lassar, as you kind of walk into this room from the north and the south, you see as sunlight kind of pours through these four stained glass windows that shine into this high vaulted chamber that you find yourself standing in. Beneath the windows are several plain wooden benches for the elderly or the infirm to sit on. Standing against the back wall is a wooden pulpit with steps that lead up to it. You can see that over here. Let's see what else we got. The floor itself is mostly comprised of dirt. Set into the western wall to the north of the pulpit is a half-open door. From where you stand, on the other side of the door, you can hear the sound of the bell that reverberates throughout the chambers that you stand in.
Can I go to the door?
Yes, you can.
This is the door, right?
That is. And as you kind of walk into here, on the other side of the door, your perception allows you to kind of glance upward, and as you do, the sound of laughter is drowned out by this very large bell in the room. The room itself is nothing more than just a small bedroom with a mattress that's been torn apart and the straw kind of thrown throughout the room. The floor, aside from the coating of straw, contains some personal effects and priestly vestments, and two wooden chests, which remain open but are entirely empty. As you kind of glance up and you look up the bell tower here, you notice as two goblins have climbed up this rope, this knotted rope, and are swinging back and forth across it, playing very gleefully as they ring this bell back and forth. Yep.
So as I look up and see these, and I take my whip, which is not lightning anymore, and I'm gonna. How high up are they?
They are about 10, 15 feet up in the air.
Perfect. That's my reach. I'm going to whip and try and grab one of them by the ankle. Should I roll just an attack?
Do you have that feat?
Well, I mean, I can just attack them at 10
You can
feet
attack
away.
them, but you can't grab them, correct?
Oh, okay. Well,
Because that grapple is part of that feat that we had talked about.
right. Okay. Then I'll just attack with the
Yep.
whip.
All right. So you're gonna try to hit the one somewhat closest to you and try to crack him with the whip. Kind of reach up, and as you let loose the end of the whip, and you hear it crack in the air. It does absolutely nothing, but the goblins that were hanging from this kind of brace themselves against the side of the bell tower and kind of glance down and see you. And as they do, immediately drop down and brandish their scimitars. I will need you guys to roll for initiative.
Yay.
Gonna clear rolls here. Hold on. Okay.
Sorry, you glad you came with me?
Somebody's got to back you up.
Perfect. I discontinued the Crimson Right. And 3 damage. Got another 3 damage.
All right. So as you do this, kind of crack the whip, and yeah, it gets their attention. It doesn't really do anything though. And they drop down, and Vark, the one to the far northwest, quickly brandishes his scimitar and charges forward, a little upset that you have interrupted their playtime. Everybody outside of this, all you know is that suddenly the bell has stopped ringing, and thank God, because the shit was annoying.
Finally. Took them long enough.
Does a 16 hit?
How long does it take to stop a bell ringing?
Hit me?
Yes.
It does.
All right, so he quickly charges forward, takes a scimitar, and slashes directly at you. Kind of lands true to your right arm as he kind of swipes down, dealing 8 slashing damage. With that, however, it is now your turn.
Ooh. Bad idea there. And I'm right up close. I'm going to take my whip just right across the face.
Alrighty.
Let's roll for that.
That's what you guys should be seeing. And once again, you take the whip and you kind of crack it down in its direction. This thing's a little more nimble than you expected it to be, and it quickly sidesteps. It sees you kind of draw back and you're ready to come at it. Sidesteps, doing absolutely nothing to it. And as that happens, his buddy directly to the south quickly brandishes his scimitar as well, and is going to lunge directly at you and try to hit you. That does a 16 hit.
Gee, I wonder.
So yeah, just like the previous one, he also strikes true and comes down with the scimitar very quickly. Feel it kind of catch purchase in your left shoulder as it hits, kind of knocks you back a little bit, and as it does, kind of watches these two kind of giggle and joke amongst themselves and kind of pick on you for being this, lowly individual that's quickly being chopped down by these two goblins.
How much damage does that do?
6 slashing damage.
Great.
Lissar, you are in the other room. What would you like to do?
Hearing all the whip cracking and sword swinging, I'm gonna step in to see what all the racket is.
Alrighty. And as you come in, you quickly notice that Karsanuk has found himself surrounded by a couple of goblins who are quickly trying to beat him to a pulp.
Well, can't have that, so I'm going to draw and just try to come right down on top of this one in front of me.
Alrighty. 11 does not hit. So as you come in quickly, trying to spring into action, you reach back and you grab your great axe. As you bring it down, almost a little too instinctively, and as you kind of come downward with it, you notice you weren't all the way in front of it where you thought you were, and it just swipes right in front, lands directly into the ground directly below you, and kind of sticks into the little dirt patch directly underneath you, doing absolutely nothing to him.
Have any of us outside heard this battle going on yet?
Give me a perception check.
You know what you won't see in this one? Negative perceptions.
Negative perceptions. They'll still be low, they just won't be negative.
Oh no, I'm proficient in those, which means that the dice gods are going to make them all threes.
I'm proficient, and that's my main stat, and I still blew it.
Grankle, as you're standing out here, you hear the very eerily quietness coming from the temple as the bell has stopped ringing. And as you do, on his second attack, once you heard the second whip, you instinctively knew that is exactly what that sound is. Something is going on to your north.
With that, I'll motion around and say, they're taking too long, and I hear either somebody having entirely too much fun or maybe dying. Not sure. We should go check.
Okay.
What kind of sound comes after the other thing?
I'll tell you when you're older.
Nav lazily looks up at Grankle, still with the ward leg in his mouth.
I quickly point to you and say, point to Nav and then point to the door. Go check on him.
Does this warg leg look chewed enough that I could rip it off?
Yeah, I mean, you've been biting on it for a little while now. You've probably gnawed enough away that you could kind of grab onto the foot of it and yank it hard enough that it'd pull the leg out of the socket and you could take it with you.
Awesome. I do just that, and I head in on all fours, head in the door with the leg in my mouth.
Alright, so you head up this way, trying to make your way, squeeze your way into this very tiny entryway.
It should have dropped by now.
Should it?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
only a minute.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. You're back here.
Hey,
Still made a bark, though.
You're still made a bark. Selger, are you going with him?
Yes, I'll go.
Alright, so you're going up here. Grankle, what are you doing?
I'll be going in after them, bringing up the rear.
Okay. Lucas, you kind of look over this pit in the middle. What are you looking for?
What caused it? What could be in there? That sort of thing.
Give me an investigation check. Yeah, so as you kind of look over this, you can tell this isn't something that happened recently. This opening has been here for a while, but as you kind of examine it and you kind of get down a little closer to it, you notice that the kind of scrape marks or the digging through the rock of that part of the center of the town has been kind of scraped upward towards you instead of going downward into the hole. It appears that what was there is now missing, and it used to be there for a very long time.
Okay. Interesting.
Nev and Selja, you guys are coming over here.
Oh god, everything's dark.
You're
be, like,
all the way to
rushing.
the far east.
I'll be rushing in the
There it
door,
is.
by the way, like trying to knock it off its hinges as I go in.
Okay. Yeah, you quickly push through. You can head almost directly to the door. 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah. That's 25 feet just within there. If you
Okay.
used your action to dash, you would get to the doorway where they are at.
Can the lot of you just get out? I'm handling this.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I'll dash to right behind them.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to stand up on both legs and growl, still with the leg in my teeth, towards the two that are fighting them.
All right. Go ahead and give me your initiative roll, please.
What do I have to do for initiative rolls at advantage?
Should be automatic. If you if you click, let me check. It may not be set right now.
It is. It is.
Yep.
I remember.
Yeah, it'll be automatic then.
Sweet
All
Jesus.
right. Selja, what are you doing?
Selja, follow him in.
Okay, so you're gonna charge right up with him, head up towards the doorway here. Take your action to dash to get there. I will also need you to give me an initiative roll, please.
Certainly.
All right. Grandcool, are you going to wait this turn out before you head in?
Yeah, that sounds like me.
All right. So we'll check our oral order. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's everybody. So to the center here of the room, gonna stick with what is tried and true and is currently working for him. This goblin here, directly to the west of Karsanook, is gonna quickly dash out with his scimitar and attack him. 13 to hit.
That does not. Finally.
Finally. So yeah, he quickly, similar to before, tries to quickly dash forward with the scimitar, but you're able to sidestep it a bit, taking no damage from it. With that though, Nav, you kind of see all of this going on in front of you, now witnessing combat, and you are next to attack. You there, Zorn?
Oh, sorry. I was reading something.
Oh, yep, you are up.
I'm actually going to move just right here.
Okay.
And these are goblins, right?
They are.
So they are humanoid.
Yes, they are.
And we're just going to swipe at
boy.
them
Here
with
it comes.
our halberd for 15
Yep, that hits.
and 8 slashing damage.
Alrighty.
And then it'll be 2 more damage for favorite enemy.
Okay. Even before you got favorite enemy, you hit this thing, and as the halberd lands, it strikes true, just hitting this thing right across the skull. And you kind of feel it drop almost immediately. Its legs kind of give out, and as it hits the ground, your kind of halberd stuck into its skull. You kind of lift and pull it up a little bit and give it a little kick and knock it over, and it falls dead in front of you.
I just kind of chuckled and stare at the other goblin. Still with the warg leg in my mouth.
Karsanook, you just watched one of them go down. The other one is still there.
I could have done this myself. Leave this one alive. And I'm gonna go up to it and punch it right in the face with my fist.
Punch you with the fist. Alright, give me an unarmed strike then.
That's just a d20 plus strength, right?
Yep. And then strength mod plus 1 for damage, I believe.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
D20 plus your strength mod
Yeah.
for your attack.
That's
Not
9.
gonna hit.
That's a 9.
So yeah, as you kind of rush forward, you take the whip and you take it all into your left hand, and you kind of try to come around with the right-handed cross on this other goblin. And as you do, it kind of watches you and immediately is able to judge where you're going and just kind of bob its head to the side, and it kind of swings wide of it, doing nothing to it.
Okay. That was one action. I still have my movement and a bonus action yet. I have a question.
Okay.
for you, DM. Here it says, I can attempt to bind an enemy as a bonus action with no more than as a blood curse, and it must succeed on a saving throw or have their speed be reduced to 0.
Okay.
So it doesn't say anything about opportunity attacks. It would still be able to perform opportunity attacks if it's bound and can't move.
If it's bound, that means it can't do anything.
Well, it's blood curse of binding, and it just says that speed is reduced to 0. But
That's if it fails. If it's bound, then it's bound. It can't move and it can't attack.
So
that would be correct, right? Everybody here?
It doesn't specify.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, it would
that's
have a
meaning.
restrained action. Or a restrained condition, rather.
If I performed this, I would be able to move out of the way. Fine.
Yeah.
I'm going to perform this.
I'll give it to you because it's going to be bound. So if you get it bound first before you move, then yes, it will not be able to get an opportunity attack.
As a bonus action, after I miss the punch, with my other hand, I'm going to come up and put my palm right to its face, not touching, and it glows red on the lines of my palm, and it has to succeed in a straight saving throw.
Alrighty. And what is the DC on that?
11.
Alright. So you said strength save?
Yes. I pray. Low numbers, come on. Roll like me.
It rolled a natural 20 with a -1, so it's saved.
Yay!
So, but its movement speed is still to 0. However, because it's not bound, once you leave it out of its range, it will get an opportunity attack.
No, it's 0. Nothing happens.
Oh, so it doesn't even get its movement speed? No, wow.
Literally nothing happens.
Okay.
Fudgy, the purple whale. I'm just gonna... I'm in there. I'm staying.
You're staying, alright. Alright. So, you attempt to restrain this thing into place, but unfortunately it is a little stronger willed than you imagined it would be. And as such, it, not happy that it kind of felt this pressure around it, is going to quickly strike at you with the scimitar, but I'm going to assume it's going to miss with a 7.
That is... finally.
So yeah, he kind of feeling this pressure immediately reacts and takes his scimitar, tries to swipe around quickly at you, but fortunately does absolutely nothing to you, and you're able to just avoid it without actually trying to avoid it. Lasar, you were up.
Noticing the punch, I'm just gonna give a quick, you want him alive?
Yes.
Alright, so then I will also try to step up and just give him a good old punching.
Alrighty. And just like your friend Karsanook here, as you come around with the punch and you try to land it, almost instinctively, or perhaps by luck, this goblin quickly moves out of the way, almost ducking a little bit as it's kind of charging forward. Perhaps it was still trying to get into a better position to attack Karsanook. Selja, you are outside of the room. You see all of this going on in front of you. What are you doing?
Well, seeing Lasar injured, Selja will step in and kind of give him a poke. A healing poke.
A healing poke.
Oh, come on.
Give him some healing pokes. Taking 10 healing.
And then she'll look at the goblin. And in goblin, let's say, "What are you doing in the village?"
And the goblin to the southwest looks at you almost instinctively and says, "Why are you in the village? Why aren't you helping me?" And with that, Nav, it is your turn. Actually, no, we are at the top of the turn order. we're gonna go to the ones outside. Grand Cool, are you coming inside now?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Phrasing.
All right, so you enter inside this chamber. You are to the far east. Lucas, you find yourself in the center of the town square with nobody around you.
Well, that happened fast.
Phrasing.
Boom, phrasing.
I'm gonna go over to the building where I saw them enter and assume that's where everybody else went.
Okay. So 30 feet to there. So if you...
I'll dash inside.
Okay, if you dash inside, you'll get movement inside of the building as well. And same with Grankle, because you were pretty close as well. You're to the far east.
There we go. Oh, here.
And yep. Once you get into position, Lucas, you need to give me an initiative roll.
Oh, right. Aha! So you can roll nat 20 or 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's one side of the scale or the other.
6 is a common theme today.
Oh yeah.
6. Lots of 6s.
We just got
Oh,
these six guys in this one room with a goblin, just can't kill him.
Just one little goblin.
6 guys in a room rolling 6s.
Satan? What?
Alright. Sorry, checking my notes here. Yeah, Nav, what are you doing?
Seeing them throwing punches at him, Nav just kind of goes, game? With a word leg in his mouth, so it's just game. And he walks up to the goblin and attempts to punch him too, while holding the halberd in one hand.
Alright. Yeah, that's
there
gonna
we go!
And then it's strength mod plus what?
1.
Plus 1, so it'll be 4.
So yeah, you hit this thing and it's just like a jaw-jacking punch, and as you come in, quickly lands, and you watch as this this goblin quickly spins around, almost comedically, as it comes all the way around, does a complete 360, looks directly back at you. It is still standing, but damn, did that hurt.
I want to play a game.
Karsanook, you're up.
Let's go for another punch.
Yeah.
Finally. And I'm just gonna uppercut the sucker.
And you're not trying to kill it, you're just trying to knock it out.
Yeah, that's
All right.
solid 3 points of damage.
Alright, so as you kind of see Nav land this perfect shot, and as you do, you quickly, with the uppercut, catch it right on the chin, and this kind of, its head tilts back a little bit. You watch as it kind of plops to the floor, knocked out entirely from the attack. What are you doing next? And actually, Grand Cool, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm just wondering. I figure out what the hell's taking them so long.
I give it a swift kick in the arse. After, well, yes, while it's unconscious.
Alright.
I'm gonna mutter.
Kill it with damage.
No!
Right?
No.
I'm going to give it a kick in the chest. Okay, give me an unarmed strike. Wait, no. Yeah, so you walk up and kind of kick at this thing.
I'm just mutter fuck you under my breath.
What is the purposes of you keeping this thing alive?
Well, it's unconscious. I'm gonna... Okay, sir. When he wakes up, find out why he's here. I'll say to no one in particular.
As Grankle moves up and sees, there's one dead goblin, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
actually
okay.
give me a perception check since you're kind of peeking into the room. As you kind of peek around the door and you see the dead goblin almost directly under the feet of Nav. The other one's knocked down directly to the south of it and to the back wall of where you're at, or of where they're at, like over in this direction. You see there are a couple of sacks lying on the steeple floor over there.
I'll kind of shove past everybody, moving myself into the room so I can get a look around, see Carson kicking it and be like, you guys having trouble?
Just gonna grunt and kind of wipe the blood off my shoulder and arm.
They like took turns punching it.
What? Why? Why are they
I don't
punching
know. They
goblins?
all have weapons.
You wanted him alive.
Why do you want him alive?
I guess so you could question him.
What? There's goblins in cages outside that we can question. Why bother with this one?
I'm just following his lead.
I did.
I
not
look
see
over
the
at her
goblins.
uncle. Game?
Oh, I'm surrounded by idiots. Okay.
I'm just gonna walk out now.
Rocco's gonna.
I didn't realize there were live goblins outside.
Don't worry, Grunkle. Make sure you knew about them now.
You now know there are live goblins outside.
Not showing anything. I'm just gonna walk outside and hide the fact that I'm going to interrogate the goblins outside.
And as he kind of walks away, we're going to take a 5-minute break, and when we come back, Grant Cool, you will have your action next.
Thank
So
you, sir. I'll be right back.
We'll take 5 minutes here, and we'll be right back. Be right back, guys. Alright. So, hi, chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. I truly do appreciate each and every one of you being here today. As I mentioned before, 25th of April is going to be our next game of Amongst the Giants. Then we have Saturday, Sunday, Monday this week. Sunday game may be delayed a little bit, if it happens at all, because it's looking like it may be a little sketchy at the start, so we're going to have to figure that out. Otherwise, like I said, 2 weeks again from this game, and then in 1 week from this game, we will be dealing with the Civil War Empire group, which is going to take the place of this. As I mentioned, these are alternating games on Wednesday. Again, thank you guys for being here, and Rendis for hanging out and chilling with everybody in chat. If you want to chat, feel free to do so. Also, if you are not already there, you can also join our Discord channel. So feel free to hop in there if you want. We would be happy to have each and every one of you guys here. Come and hang out with us. Talk some D&D. We have a completely open D&D channel.
That's very upsetting.
Come and hang out and join in the fun.
I'm not accustomed to missing so many punches.
Other than that, that's about it.
That's my life. I play.
Sounds like everybody is here. We are going to get ready to jump back into our game. So thank you again for being here.
Hey, at least you have an excuse.
Hopefully, you guys are going to enjoy the show up ahead.
My excuse is that I was already hurt.
All right. Do a check around, see who all's here. If you're not here, raise your hand.
I'm raising my hand as hard as I can.
Let's see. Havoc, you there? Havoc is not here. Fourth, are you here? Oh, okay.
Just take attendance.
I'm gonna take attendance.
Yes.
Selji, you here?
I am here.
And everybody else is here.
No,
Chad
we're
is
not.
raising their hand as well, so Chad is here as well. Grandcool, you are up. What would you like to do?
Alright, you mentioned some bags of some sort?
Yeah, so these two goblins that were gleefully swinging back and forth from the rope of the bell had a couple of sacks that they had been carrying around with them, sitting on the steeple floor off to the west of the room here.
Alright. So as I move in there and see Karsnook obviously frustrated walking away, I kind of look around, see the unconscious goblin, say, wake him up if you will. And as they're doing that, I'm going to move towards these bags and see what's inside of them.
All right. So the bag to the north, and I'm trying to find names here. Okay. The bag to the north, as you reach over and kind of dig through it, it holds 3 empty vials that, which you can presume, used to contain water. In this case, you would assume it's going to be holy water based on the size of the vials. All 3 of which are completely empty. You can assume maybe the goblin got a little thirsty and decided to drink them. You also find an unlocked wooden pour box containing 37 copper pieces and 15 silver pieces. So you have 3 empty vials and a bunch of copper and silver.
That bell's still ringing.
It is not. These 2 were the cause of the bell ringing.
Gosh.
Is the rope still there?
The rope is still there.
Sel just swings on it.
The ringing then suddenly begins once again as you watch Selji grab on and kind of kick off of the back of the steeple and kind of swing back and forth, ringing the bell again.
As she's doing that, I want to quickly pocket the items I found in the first bag.
Give me a sleight of hand check. Well, yeah, you pick up these items and quickly, as you kind of look around, seeing if anybody's watching, Selji quickly running up and grabbing the rope and swinging back and forth. Nobody else is paying any attention to you. because Selji is now ringing this bell and it is now annoying the shit out of them.
As I'm angrily storming out of this, I'm just gonna yell back inside, "Shut up!" and as loud as I possibly can, with the gruff voice. I can't yell in a gruff voice.
You can't yell in the gruff. That's okay. So yeah, Carson yelling back at Selji to stop the bell ringing. Everybody else, what are you doing? Everybody who hasn't done anything.
What were those numbers again?
37 copper pieces and 15 silver pieces.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is this a stairway right here?
It is a stairway to a pulpit, so it doesn't go anywhere. It's the elevated platform. You can tell this is a temple of sorts.
Is there anything up on that platform?
There is a holy book up there, that's basically for generic doctrine, for religious invocations, but beyond that, no, there's nothing there.
Okay.
I'd like to give the goblin bodies a once over.
Okay. As you kind of look over the two bodies and kind of search through, their clothing is pretty much just tattered nothingness, just stuff that they've kind of gathered along the way. Their scimitars are obviously a little bit bigger than they are, so you can assume that they gathered these from elsewhere. They weren't actually meant for them. Beyond that, you don't really see anything else on them.
Alright. Then I'm gonna go catch up with Lucas.
Okay. Nav, what are you doing? Zorn, you there?
Sorry, I was muted.
No worries.
I am actually just sitting in the corner, staring at Grunkle while chewing on my warglobe. I guess I'm actually just sitting on a goblin body right now. While chewing
Alrighty.
my warglobe.
Grankle, you're back up.
So I only searched one of the two bags?
Correct. You searched the one to the north, and there's still one to the south, almost directly underneath where Selja is swinging back and forth.
Alright. I want to quickly duck underneath her and see what's in the second bag.
Alrighty. And as you do so, you kind of grab it and pull it back. Are you trying to do so quietly and trying to make sure that Selja doesn't see you?
No, I don't care if she sees me.
Okay. So yeah, you grab it and kind of pull it in quickly and kind of dig through it. And within it, you find 3 blocks of incense. Holy symbol made of silver, in the shape of a unicorn's head. You find some stolen but almost worthless personal effects as well within the bag. The holy symbol, if you're looking to sell that, if you have no interest in it, is worth 25 gold.
So it looks shiny.
Yeah, very shiny.
Anybody that's listening or thinking can hear me as I'm shuffling to this bag. Ooh, shiny. That's the only thing I keep. I drop the rest of the crap in there, in the bag.
Right.
What'd you get?
Who said that? I wouldn't pay.
Selja, as you said, ooh, shiny. Selja looks down at you and is like, oh, what'd you get?
I hold up this unicorn's head and says, shiny, shiny.
That's pretty good. She gets off the rope.
All right, and she drops down. The bell rings a couple more times, and then suddenly silence. Once again, the echoing of the bell stops within the temple, and you guys are free to move around. Are you wanting to exit the temple now and head back outside?
Already gone.
All right.
He stormed out. Yeah, I don't see anything else of import looking around the room.
All right. I'll move you guys all in a group. Maybe. Boop. Okay, there you go.
I healed you for 10, Lacer.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm gonna not say it, but look at Lacer and look at Selju and look at my wounds and look back at Selju and look back at my wounds. And not saying anything.
So from where you're standing, you see a small farm directly to the south. To the north, you see a gravesite. And to the northeast of where you were at is the Nightstone Inn. And then off to the far northeast, or east-northeast, you see the two goblins that are running around within this pen over in that area.
The goblins are to the north?
Yes, they're up in this area here. You could see them from before. It's not doing, for some reason, it's not doing the
The area right
reveal.
above us. Like the fenced-in area right above us.
Yep. Up in this area.
So...
Off to the northeast, not the...
Oh.
Not directly ahead. Directly ahead is the gravesite.
There are
There's
also
nothing
some
else.
to the south.
As Grankle comes walking out, quickly shoving the shiny into his pocket, he walks out and sees Carsonet and moves out and he says, this way, this is where I saw the goblins. And I lead him off to the ones to the northeast.
All right.
I follow him.
I also trot along behind Grankle.
And shoot a dirty look back at Selju.
All right. So as you guys start to approach, what is Lucas and Lasar? What are you guys doing over there? You guys just hanging out, hanging behind?
What is this thing right here?
That is a drainage area, like a manhole with a bunch of bars going across it to drain some of the mud and water out of the area.
Okay. Where was the inn you said?
Directly north up here.
Right here?
Yep.
Okay. I'd like to go and
All right.
see if the door's shut or
All right.
locked. guess.
Can go ahead and give me an investigation check on that. Nope, you're pretty sure it is not locked and it is not trapped, and you could just barge right in if you want to.
Staying outside, I'd like to open the door and kind of look inside and see what's inside.
All right, and I'll kind of give you a basic description of what you see as you kind of look in. So as you look in from the southern end of this room, and the door kind of swings all the way wide open, kind of slaps against the wall on the other side. To your northeast of the doorway there, more up in this area, you see one of the big boulders, like the one that dropped on top of the caravan earlier, has kind of barged its way through the roof and down to the bottom floor. As you look up, you can tell this is a two-story building because you can see the floor directly above you and what looks to be a sheet that is hanging down from the opening there that was kind of pulled away from the bed that it was laying on, that's now crumbled underneath of this rock. Off to the left of it, you see a countertop, a couple of small little books, maybe notebooks or something of the sort, and a couple of small benches and tables, like end tables, with lanterns setting on top of them. But otherwise, you don't see anything else.
No sign of any movement or anything.
No, from the outside, you see absolutely no movement inside that building.
You want to go in and check it out?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, wait, do we move it?
Are you sure?
Yeah, because that's something we're going to do anyway.
All right. All right, so you guys are moving to the end, so give me a second. You guys are going to be down there. They're moving in. All right. So you guys are in the inn. The remaining four, as you kind of approach this chicken wire little pen area here, give you a description. The back of this little small house that has been crumbled by a boulder to the northwest is a small, muddy, fenced-in yard that contains a couple of wooden feed troughs and several chicken coops to the south down here. As you kind of rush up, you see that there are two goblins that are chasing a pair of chickens around within the pen that have managed to escape their coops. And as you walk up, and you're, again, because it's kind of hard to keep quiet in this area because of the rain that made this all muddy, they can hear your footsteps, and as they do, they quickly turn around to you. One of them, you can see a feather dangling from its mouth of one of the chickens that it recently ate.
Do they have weapons?
They do have weapons.
Jeez, you said these were penned in.
And with that, I'll turn around to him and say, calm down, calm down. And with that, I'll look back towards the two goblins and be like, my friends, what are you doing here?
And the one to the south kind of looks at you and says, Pojo and I, we got the chickens. We eat chickens. We have dinner. Why are you here?
With that, I'll kind of nod, very putting on a persona, being very wise and knowing. So I can see the chickens. We're here to figure out what's going on. What with all those rocks flying from the sky? Very odd, yes.
And the one to the north, who was just recently referred to as Pojo, looks over at you and says, We don't care about rock. We just want chicken. Chicken all we want. Chicken. It's all chickens. See all the chickens? There's so many chickens.
With that, Gronko's getting a little bit of annoyed at this point. Says, I can see the chickens, Pojo. However, I would like to know why you're here. It can't be just for chickens. I mean, where are all the humans is?
I can tell why they're here.
He kind of
Rocks
peeks
fell.
around this rock here, this large rock that was in the middle of the ground here, and looks over and sees the remaining group of them and says, humans, why humans? Why you bring humans? And then quickly reaches down to his hip and pulls out his scimitar and is ready to attack.
What are you calling human?
I need all of you to roll initiative, please.
Let me
And I'm gonna
clear the
clear
armor.
chat. Yeah.
You shouldn't have done that.
Shouldn't have done that.
Wait, he's not a human?
He's a god.
He's a god. Holy shit, that nat 20 initiative roll.
Maybe you
All
should
right.
roll like 20 die before you come here.
Don't do it, because all 20 of those will be your good die.
Yep.
I'm sitting here with my lucky die right next to me on my desk, and
You've got to fondle it. Why aren't you fondling it?
I am fondling it.
Maybe you should just put those dice in dice jail.
Yeah, I'd get some new dice, change of color. So, Lucas and Lassar, you have rushed into the inn. Gonna give you a little more details here. Maybe I'll give you more details. Hold on. It's fucking a list of shit. Alright. So you walk in and you find yourself standing within a dining room, only apparent by the giant dining table in the middle of the room and a bunch of plates and silverware that are now strewn throughout the room itself from the giant boulder that has crashed through the ceiling. To the southeast corner of the room, this boulder has smashed its way through the roof, destroying the table along with a few benches and the bed from the upstairs chamber above. The whole, as I mentioned, a bedsheet drapes down into the chamber itself. And beneath the boulder, the remains of the bed and wardrobe. In the center of the room, the body of a dead goblin lies motionless on the other side of the table, which, from the perspective you were at before, you couldn't have seen. Around the room, two small tables, as I also mentioned, and a few chairs that remain mostly intact, and unlit oil lamps that sit upon the tables. To the west, a 5-foot countertop that sits unharmed from the attacks. A couple of books the most important of which is a ledger with the name Morak Yurgray stitched into the leather book bindings. Off to the north, you can hear the sound of metal and wooden items clanging together, as if somebody is sifting through something in the chamber above.
The first thing I want to do is check out the bar.
Okay. So
Grab a drink. I like it.
I'm assuming you're talking about the little thing where the book is?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. And as you do, you kind of walk over and take a look at this ledger. The ledger itself, you find several entries starting from many, many years out. The entries all have names, 2 sets of numbers, one ranging from the number 2 to the number 4. And then the other showing a wide range of numbers, starting from 1 all the way up to 231. Some of the names repeat, and the most recent entry is a woman named Kella Darkhope, which is staying in room 4.
So this is like a resident guide?
Correct. Your assumption upon looking at this is that this is telling you it's the ledger that the innkeeper used to keep track of who's paid him for the rooms that they're renting.
If I go around the other side of the bar or the desk, is there anywhere that they would put the money that they got?
As you kind of look around the backside, you notice that this bar is more, it's pretty narrow. It's just maybe 6 to 8 inches wide and is just kind of standing in place holding up this tabletop. There's really not a lot on the other side. All the books and everything would be on the top, and the other books are not really anything of note, just random, journals or books that the previous owner had been reading before the attacks.
Well, somebody was staying here.
Yes. And the rustling sounds you mentioned were coming from the second floor?
No, so from where you were at, you should be able to see a door to the northwest there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the area of which you can hear a bit of an echoing sound coming from over there.
Gotcha. I'd like to take this time to summon my other weapon.
Okay.
And then cheat it. We should go check out this room. You hear the movement in there too, right?
Oh, I hear them.
Let's go see what we have in there.
Okay. So you guys head over towards that door. And in the meantime, we are going to switch back over to our other group, who are now confronted by 2 goblins in the middle of this little open field here with some chickens running around. The Pojo, the goblin to the north, got the surprise attack here. Notice that you guys were not of his kind and quickly wants to rush in and try to attack Grancool here.
Dare to attack Grankle the Feared?
You dare do this? Does a 21 hit?
Yes, yes it does.
So he quickly comes in with the scimitar, almost instinctively kind of jumps off of the boulder in like a playful manner, and as he comes down with the swipe, catches you quickly on your arm that was kind of sticking outward, and as it does, it deals 7 slashing damage.
Ow.
Chad is saying, kick the chickens.
Nab, seeing Grinkle under attack, lets out a ferocious roar and rushes in and stabs at the goblin who attacked Grinkle.
All right. So you kind of rush in here and pull out your halberd and dash forward with the attack.
I don't know why my character sheet's not working right now. Hold on. I'm clicking on it and nothing's happening.
Close it and reopen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enrage the chickens. Have none of you played Legend of Zelda? 14 does not hit, unfortunately. So as you come around and you kind of jab at it with this halberd, Pojo, already in position and getting a good hit, is very observant of everything that's going on and sees you kind of charge in and quickly turns his right shoulder, and the halberd flies right by him, doing absolutely nothing to him. Anything else?
That will end my turn.
All right. The one to the south here, seeing his buddy getting a nice good shot in, is going to quickly rush up and do the same to Grand Cool.
At disadvantage goes through chicken wire.
Yeah. Does a 6 hit.
Oh, yay!
It didn't even have to be at disadvantage. It was terrible. So yeah, he quickly... Right? He quickly comes in and kind of jumps on top of the chicken wire, and I'm gonna kind of animate this a little bit. As he jumps up and presses his hand on it, he doesn't realize what chicken wire is, and it immediately gives out, and as he kind of dives for you with the scimitar, he falls flat on his face directly in front of you. I'm gonna just go ahead and put him prone because he's made a terrible mistake trying to attack you from the other side of the chicken wire.
That's perfect.
Selja, you are up.
Okay. So I'm just gonna go over here, and she's going to use Thorn Whip on this other goblin, the more northern one.
The one to the north one. Pojo?
Yes, Pojo.
Yeah, 21's definitely gonna hit. For a whole 1.
For 1, but she's gonna drag him 10 feet to kind of be to the north of Nav.
Alright, so you drag him over here. Is he restrained? He is restrained, right? If it hits, he's restrained?
It just says I pull him, I don't restrain him.
Oh, okay. Alright, so you just pulled him over in that direction. Didn't really do a lot of damage to him, but the pull was exactly what you wanted, pulling him directly beside Nav, who's now kind of snarling and drooling at the opportunity to attack this thing directly beside him. Graincool, you have been attacked by the one that is now out of range, and the other one to you is now prone in front of you.
Out of range for a sorcerer.
Out
That's
of range.
adorable.
That's cute.
Well, this guy's prone, so I don't think he's going to be able to get a good attack on me. So I'm going to go ahead and back away. Down here, yell at Nav, "Protect your god!" And then I'm going to wind up another chromatic orb and shoot it at fucker number 1 that hit me.
All right. Yeah, 19's gonna hit.
Fire damage, please.
Oh. So yeah, as you cast this, as soon as it hits, you watch as this thing, instead of it like falling over or kind of cringing from the attack, no. You didn't kill this thing. You fucking disintegrated it, dude. And immediately it just turns to a pile of ash between Selja and Nav.
As that happens, I turn to the one that's laying on the ground. "Behold your god, Grankle the Feared!"
I'm going to let out a voracious roar at that.
All right.
Still
Anything
have
else?
the word like in my mouth.
That thing's like just slobbery all now.
Oh, I'm slowly working it down to a bone.
Karsanook, you are up.
Finally. Alright. Alright. I'm gonna get my revenge on these goblins. I am going to take out my whip, activate Crimson Right again. That's 3 hit points for me.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
and,
only your second one. Sorry.
And I can... My reach on the whip is 10 feet, so I can hit this guy that's prone.
Sure, but he's behind half cover, so because he's behind the chicken wire, technically.
Okay, I'm going to. Can I make it there?
You can climb up and over. I mean, your movement speed, you got a 30 movement speed. If you wanted to move from here,
25.
you could
25.
go to like here. And that, yeah, we'd call that 20 feet and you'd be all set.
Difficult terrain doesn't slow my group's travel.
All right, that's 20 feet, so I'm just gonna back up one so that I'm not in his range.
Look at Zorn being all useful and shit.
So from here, I'm gonna, with my now lightning whip again, just get to hit this guy while he's down.
All right, go ahead and give me the attack, and I'll give it to you at advantage because he is prone.
Thank you.
Yeah, give me some damage.
All right, finally. All right.
Finally hit something, right?
My first hit.
Do both of y'all have whips? Really?
Wait,
There we are.
there's only one with a whip, right?
Well,
I mean,
Celtic
mine's,
has the
yeah, mine's magical. Like, I just kind
Oh,
of
yeah. That's different.
this lightning.
All right. So quickly getting around the corner of this fence, and you kind of reach up with the whip, crack it down on him, almost a little frustrated at the fact that you've been unsuccessful in your previous attempts. And you watch as this thing quickly, as soon as it lands, this thing just drops immediately to the ground dead.
Like lightning crackling off its hair.
All right. With that, we're going to switch to our other group, who is checking the door here to the north. On the other side, as we mentioned before, you do hear the sound of something kind of digging or rummaging through the things on the other side of the door.
I'll peek, you cover me.
Roger that.
Alright, I want to kind of give the door a little peek inside, maybe try to not alert the person in.
All right, so you kind of open the door a little bit, and as you kind of peek in here, you see there's a goblin that is kind of rummaging through stuff within this kitchen area of this room, and I'll give you a description of it here. To the northwest of the room itself is another boulder that has crashed through the building, destroying the outer walls and the west and north corners of the building, though not much else has been damaged throughout the chamber itself. The kitchen is still mostly intact as well, only minor damage to some of the items within the room. In the middle of the room, to the north wall, is a large stone fireplace, which you can assume is right here. Let's see, what else we got here. The fireplace is unlit, and there are broken dishware and other eating utensils scattered throughout the floor itself. The northeast corner, what appears to be the inn's pantry, you find a goblin that is kind of digging through, stuffing food and other items like that into a very large sack. And as you watch, she reaches down and grabs this bag and goes to pick it up, and as she does, she kind of yanks back, and it doesn't even budge, like won't move whatsoever. And then she thinks about it for a second, and then reaches down again, and then quickly reaches back and tries to lift it up, and it still won't budge. What are you guys doing?
Fast and loud.
Hmm?
You ready?
Yep. So,
do it.
I'm just gonna charge right in.
And I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast.
All right, because you are casting and this thing is distracted, I'm going to give you both a bonus round here, or a surprise round, so you will be able to attack first. So go ahead and give me your initiative rolls, please.
Finally.
Good roll.
Nice. All right, Lacera, you are first up, trying to take advantage of this little surprise attack. This goblin is struggling to pick up a bag. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna try to bull rush it, basically, like charge right up to it and maybe knock him down.
Alrighty. So go ahead and move your distance where you're going to, and then give me a attack, depending on what you're trying to do. Are you trying to grapple it? Are you trying to tackle it? Are you trying to hit it with your weapon?
You know what? I'll just go for a weapon hit on him.
Alrighty, go ahead and give me the attack. Unfortunately, as you kind of charge through, you watch as this female goblin here is struggling to pick up this bag. You think this is a perfect opportunity. You rush in, you take the great axe, and as you swipe down, the goblin grabs onto the bag and is pulling backwards, and as it does, it loses its grip and falls down, and your axe just swings right over top of it, and the goblin is completely unharmed, but is aware that you guys are there now. Anything else?
That'll be it for this one.
All right, Lucas, you are up.
I'm gonna take a step in the room and cast Eldritch Blast at it.
All right, do that thing.
Now that nobody else is around. 22
Yeah,
hit.
22 definitely hits.
2 force damage.
A full 2.
Come on.
All right, so watching is this female goblin who lost its grip on the bag falls to the ground, quickly rush into the room and try to throw like a curveball around Lasser with the Eldritch Blast, and as it does, curves around and it hits it, but it just kind of bounces off the shoulder of this goblin and does a small amount of damage, but obviously it's still standing. Lasser, we are at the top of the turn order. What are you doing?
I am going to just try to hack at him again, but this time hit.
Hopefully. Yeah, that definitely hits. And quickly you come back around after the first one, feeling a little defeated by the first swing. You quickly bring it back around and almost like an overhead chop straight down. You split this thing right in the center of its head and it drops to the ground unmoving.
Alright, now that one is dead, do I hear any other kind of rustling or anything?
Give me a perception check. You hear the sound of your buddies outside, which from the area you're in, they are on this side of the building. You hear the scuffling of them fighting, but beyond that, you hear nothing else.
Okay. Then can I check this bag?
Absolutely. So you kind of reach down and you grab onto this bag and kind of pull it open. You see, inside of it, you see several muffins. You see a block of cheese, a cooked chicken, a frying pan, an iron pot, a lantern, which catches your eyes almost immediately, 2 flasks of oil, a set of cooking utensils, a jar of cloves worth 1 silver piece, a jar of saffron, a dented silver jug, and a cracked hourglass. And I will post all of this in chat for you.
I'm gonna walk over. I want to walk over, grab the block of cheese, and start eating.
He's got the cheese, and I'm just gonna hand him a muffin.
Did someone say muffins?
Thank you.
Just from outside in the chicken coop. I smell muffins.
Muffins! Oh, we just murdered Gum Gum.
You just murdered Gum Gum. Well done, guys. Well done.
Dum.
At the scent of the muffins, I'm going to start heading to the inn.
Dang, what sort of nose do you have?
Right?
Is this is a pantry, right?
It's a +1
Yeah.
nose of muffin sniffing.
Where you guys are at, to the northeast there, yeah, that's the pantry.
I'd like to look inside of it.
Okay. And as you kind of look inside of the pantry here, you don't really see anything else of import. You can see that everything that was in there, and it's more like right here in the actual corner of it, kind of right by where Gum Gum was standing, kind of see everything that of import that was there is now gone because Gum Gum had stuffed it into her bag as quickly as possible.
Just wanted to confirm.
I'm gonna hold up the jug to Lucas and be like, "Do we care enough?"
I mean, if we could find somebody to sell it to, yeah.
All right. I'm just gonna stuff it in my bag.
So what are you
Finding
taking?
somebody may be the difficult part.
The silver jug.
Okay.
It's just dented. Like it could still hold water, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Lassar, give me
I'll
a
take the spices.
perception check. Okay. Yeah. I can't help you. I'm sorry.
You exist.
Nobody can.
You exist, and you found a bag full of a bunch of stuff, and Nav is eating a warg leg.
Can I go into
Still.
the inn after them?
You can.
I'd like to take the 2 jars of spices.
What's that?
I'd like to take the 2 things of spices.
Oh, the cloves and the saffron. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Arsenook, you make your way inside the chamber down here. You are southeast of where you were standing.
I'm just gonna go. Whoever has the muffins.
I'm eating a muffin.
I have the other muffin.
And what is the rest of the party doing?
That's several. That means there's
And
3.
I had it incorrect. Fourth, whenever you asked about the thing that I said was a grate in the center of the town square, that was actually a barred off well.
Okay.
I had to go back and check the notes because I thought that was wrong. So, yeah.
Muffin.
I look in the bag. Is there? How many muffins are there? There are at least 3.
Several muffins.
There were several.
I hand him a muffin.
I eat it.
Okay, jeepers.
I
Toss him a muffin.
I practically unhinge my jaw and eat it in one bite.
C Big.
That was a little scary.
C Big asks, does the frying pan block arrows?
Ooh. Does it?
Only if you swing it at just the right time.
only if
Night
you
reference?
only if you hang it on your hip from behind.
Done. I need all the AC I can get.
And you have to be running away. Let's see. Grand Cool, Nav, and Selja, what are you guys doing?
I'm
I am.
investigating.
I am following Gringle while he investigates. Just completely uninterested.
Basically, I would want to move her back down to the south where I know somebody had mentioned some more goblins and kind of tiptoe around this hole in the middle,
Okay.
looking down at it as I move past.
Yep. And as you look down, you can tell it's probably, I don't know, about 15, 20 feet deep. It's hard to see down within the pit itself. Like the first 5 feet are fine, but beyond that, it starts getting a little fuzzy and it's hard to make out anything. But yeah, you can tell, like I said, it's been there for a long time, and most of the stone was already in place as it was.
Okay. I want to go say hi to these new friends down here.
Alrighty. So you're making your way southeast. As you approach this, and I'll give you a read through here. The farm to the south, though the home appears to be untouched, the farm itself, or the fields itself, have been battered by several boulders. In the garden, 2 goblins are wearing a hollowed out pumpkin over their heads, which has apparently been dug up from the soil below. And they're attempting to play a game of blind tag, running around and chasing each other through the garden. Hey Ken, how you doing, bud?
The one closest to me, I would like to
Oh
fire
yeah,
a firebolt
playing,
at.
aren't you?
And this, I'm doing that. I want to say, kneel before your god, Grunkle.
The two goblins, the pumpkins still on their heads, stop what they're doing and kind of look around and aren't intelligent enough to realize that the pumpkins are still on their heads. You attacking the closest one? Alright, yeah, 16 hits. Yeah, so as soon as you hit this thing, it smells like the burning sensation of this firebolt as it hits. The smell starts to waft through the air. It smells like pumpkin pie mixed with burnt flesh as this thing drops to the ground immediately. As this happens, the one to the southeast quickly shouts out, "Filk! Filk! Where are you, Filk?" And the sound immediately gets the attention of two other goblins approaching from the southeast. I need everybody to roll for initiative, please.
Everybody?
Everybody outside near this area.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
Nav, protect me.
Alright. And I gotta move some people, hold on.
Why do
So
all your
many
goblins roll a 21?
Right?
Go away, goblins.
They're quick little bastards.
Okay.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, but some of them. Ed almost rolled a 21. Backwards. Yeah. I think that's it. Alright. So with that, the first one drops immediately to the ground. The second one, yelling out for his buddy, and after his buddy doesn't respond, quickly reaches up and grabs onto the pumpkin and kind of pulls away at it, and you watch as it kind of shatters and falls to the ground below him, and he notices his buddy has fallen to the ground and quickly is going to try to move and get into position here by taking his action to dash towards you. From the tower to the southeast, the two other goblins that were kind of hiding away and searching, hearing the ruckus, quickly decide they are going to join in the fray as well here. Grankul, you are up.
Yeah. Nav, protect me. I'm going to use Nimble Escape to bonus action disengage. And 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Wait, no. 5, 10, 20, 25, 30. Yeah. Wait, do I have 30 movement?
GTFO, man.
Yeah, I have 30. Okay. And then, seeing 2 threats at least in front of me, I'm going to send off another firebolt, but I'm also going to attempt to weave the magic around and twin the spell to target this one and this one.
Alrighty. Oh, holy shit.
Nice.
So is that just one roll to hit both?
I think it's 2. I think it's only 2.
I think so too. So go ahead and give me the second roll on it.
Yeah.
You might have to set that up as a secondary cast, but I don't think we have the automated thing, do we? It's not automated right now.
You can set it to automate it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't.
Something
I don't have control over it, so unfortunately I can't change it. Yeah, so the first one definitely hits. Go ahead and give me the damage. Actually, I'm not even going to have you roll me damage on that. Tell me how you just disintegrated this fucking thing. Oh, wait.
Well,
Maybe I will have you roll me damage.
unless we're doing max damage like we do in the other campaigns.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
So yeah, even with max damage, yes, that would definitely destroy this thing.
Okay.
So yeah, tell me
So
how
mine
you
did it
disintegrated
before.
this thing.
So yeah, as I'm running past Nab, I like turn around and point both my fingers like in the was it fawns? Hey, and shoot off 2 firebolts off of the end. I don't really aim the second one very well, but the other one shoots right through this goblin's neck, just piercing a little cauterized hole through its neck and out the backside.
Nice. And then the second one, as it launches towards the other goblin to the far south, just falls a little short, doesn't quite make or reach its destination here. With that, though, the other one is going to quickly try to make its way around, but isn't going to get as far as his buddy. Nav, your god has now instructed you to protect him.
I am going to move forward. What's the range on a warg leg?
Like to use it as a...
As in, I'm about to throw it at that goblin.
It will be a 1d4 for damage.
But I could theoretically hit him from here, right? 40 feet?
At disadvantage, maybe.
Well, let me ask you this.
What's your strength mod?
3.
No, I'll say yes. With that strength mod, I'll say you can hit it from there without disadvantage.
Alright, and then the ranged melee attacks 1d20 plus proficiency. Plus dex?
Yes.
How did I get a 0? Oh, I added 2 pluses.
2 pluses at the end.
My bad.
Okay.
So yeah, you definitely hit it. Go ahead and give me the 1d4 damage.
I'm going to add +2 for my favorite enemy.
All right. All right, so you take this warg leg, what's left of it anyways, and you kind of yank it out of your mouth, taking one last bite as you kind of pull it out. And you just hurl this bone, the remainder of the skeletal remains of this leg directly at it, and it hits this goblin directly in the head, kind of knocks its head back a little bit, and he stops for a second. You can watch him kind of trying to regain his balance, and then looks directly at you and is coming right for you.
I just start laughing as he moves forward.
Selja, what are you doing?
Selja is going to move right there, and she's going to ready in action to Thorn Whip the goblin that just got plunked in the head with the arm.
Alrighty. So you're looking at this first one here. And I'm going to put a mark on it to remind me that when it moves, you are to do something. That one is actually dead, and actually, because it is immediately going to move forward, you will go ahead and get your reaction here.
Alright, she's going to swing the whip.
Swing the whip.
Oh,
Oh, yes. That's going to be beefy. Yeah. So we'll have you change your crit on that. So I'll show you how to do it if you...
okay.
Let me pull this up and I'll show you. So from your character sheet, I'm going to drop down, Thorn Whip. Under that, just change for your crit directly here. Just type in a 6 because it's going to be a straight number there.
Alright.
And that's how you will change any of your attacks. If they crit, they will automatically get that bonus +6. Or whatever the die roll is. So yeah, you hit this thing, and immediately the Thorn Whip hits us and drops it to its knees. And as it kind of falls over, kind of clutching at its stomach a little bit, you obviously feel that you've done more than enough to punish this thing, and you watch as it falls slowly to the ground, dead in front of Nav here.
Do those inside the inn hear anything?
Nope, they are too far away.
Cool.
You would be too far away to passively see this, but if each of you want to go ahead and give me a perception check, we can do that.
Why not?
You needed a 10, so no.
These monsters are very good.
Wow. Okay.
None of you. You actually, Carson walks in and is so worried about this muffin that nothing else matters. He's just so into this muffin. Lassar kind of thinks he hears something, but can't really tell what or where it's coming from. So he quickly goes back to the bag again. And Lucas is just kind of minding his own business at this point.
I see there's an upstairs to the inn.
Yes, there is.
Can I go upstairs?
Yes. On your...
That's where I was gonna head.
Yeah.
Yep. On your movement, you can move as far as whatever your distance would be to there, and then on your next turn, once you get upstairs, we will do so.
Yeah, okay. I can move to this stairs and whatnot.
Because you guys don't feel that there is any threat right now, I'm going to say you wouldn't know to try to dash to get up there fast. To kind of search. So,
Okay.
Grand Cool. You've watched 2 of them fall. There's still 1 to the far south here.
So Grankle, just kind of cackling like a madman, sends another firebolt at the last goblin.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah, unfortunately, as you kind of cast this, between the distance and everything that's going on between you, try to cast this without hitting Nav, and it kind of skirts right by Nav and goes forward, but it's a little wide of being able to actually hit the goblin to the far south, and it just kind of flies right by his head.
Hold still while I'm trying to kill you.
Anything else?
Nah.
Alright. This one in here. It's gonna step right up here and is gonna reach down and grab for its crossbow. Because that's a thing too. Or short bow, I'm sorry. Off its back, it pulls up the short bow and is looking directly at Nav and reaches back. Pulls the arrow, knocks it, and releases. Does a 21 hit?
Yes.
Alright, so as the arrow releases, it pierces right through your shoulder, just kind of nipping through the skin a little bit and the corner of your shoulder here, dealing 3 piercing damage. With that being said, it is your turn.
I'm going to move forward Nicolas Cage style, just shrugging off the arrow sticking out of my shoulder. And take a swing at him with my halberd.
Jesus.
Nice. Yeah. So, angered by the arrow actually touching you, you grab the halberd and you quickly come down. And as you swipe this, you swipe it almost long ways, like straight across the horizon. And as it does, for a second, you pause because nothing happens, and then you watch as the head kind of rolls off the body and the body falls dead to the ground.
I actually am going to pick up the head and stick it on the end of my halberd.
Okay.
Stupid.
Just
Why do
with
you
a
want
really
him?
smug, satisfied smile as I'm like corkscrewing it on down to the top.
Nice. All right, and with that, we are going to end our session today.
We're just like, I got that. They're murdering everything.
Oh no, I'm well far behind, ahead of where you guys are. You guys have plenty to do here still. Don't worry.
Nav.
But it is the
Murder.
natural
Yeah.
time to stop, so we're gonna.
Hey, come on, man! I got that one.
All right, I'm gonna end stream and then I will be back.
Okay.
All right, so thank you guys so very much for being here. I very much appreciate it. As I mentioned before, and I'll go ahead and pull up the news thing so we can show all of the days and things of that nature. We will be back on the 25th of April for this game once again. So if you enjoyed yourself, please be sure to tune back in for it. Give us a follow if you are not already doing so, and come back for all of our D&D games. We have tons of them going on here. We'd be more than happy to have you in chat and come chat with us and hang out. Other than that, that is pretty much everything for tonight. Civil War Alliance on Saturday. Sunday game may be delayed, may not happen. I will keep you guys posted if you are not already doing so. Make sure you follow me on Twitter so that you can keep up with everything that is going on over there, and know exactly what we're doing with the stream. Other than that, that is going to be it for tonight's stream. Thank you all so very, very much. I'm going to check and see who is online right now. We are going to, let's drop you over to Smashly. Let's do that. So we're going to raid Smashly here. If you like her content, give her a follow as well. She is a very lovely, lovely individual. Other than that, I will see you guys on Saturday. Thank you for being here, and I very much appreciate each and every one of you. Have a good night, and I'll see you soon.